Okay, so I had Anansi and Firefly. I'm Molly Alexander, by the way. And so, to give you a little background on the story, Anansi invites Firefly to go on a hunting trip with him to go collect the farmer's hen's eggs in the neighborhood. And so as the story goes along, Anansi and Firefly put all of the eggs in Anansi's basket. And then when it comes time for Firefly to get eggs, Anansi's like, okay, I'm ready to go home. So Anansi ready to go on his way, but Firefly is like, wait, we just filled all your eggs, your basket and your eggs, eggs in your basket, and I have none. So Firefly abandons Anansi in the middle of nowhere, and Anansi has to find his way back. And on his way back, he runs into Tiger's house. Now Tiger knows of Anansi's schemes and tricks Anansi, so Tiger takes all the eggs back from Anansi and feeds it to his family. And Anansi is left with nothing. And he never goes hunting with Firefly again. It's the lesson. So for my design concept, I focused on kind of modern African couture along with the animals themselves. The animal I chose was the tarantula for Anansi, a firefly, a Tasmanian tiger for the tiger family, a Macallan, I think it's cockatoo. Is that right? Cockatoo, yes, for the narrator, and then a crown crane for the hens. And so, going through, kind of introduce the characters first. So for Anansi, I wanted, since she is kind of this kind of wicked kind of character, I wanted more structure, and then I also focused on an African tribal where they have a lot of straw that they use in their clothing, so that was her skirt here. And then instead of carrying around a basket, I wanted it to be more attached to her. So I had this basket around her neck and then these pockets. And then in the design here, I incorporated these red dot pattern to kind of represent the eyes of a tarantula. For Firefly, I chose something a little more simple, but then I wanted to focus on like this collar and cuffs to kind of represent the wings. Could kind of be playful and dramatic in that sense. And then I also wanted to have some similar color schemes since they are kind of supposed to be these like friends, partners in their scheme. Let's see. And then for the tiger family here, I focused completely on the fur of the Tasmanian tiger, going with more kind of orange and a neutral palette. And then I also wanted to play with color since it is a children's story. For the narrator with the cockatoo, I wanted to have a lot of fun with it. She's the narrator, she's telling the story to the children, to the audience. So I went with this very kind of dramatic romper with these kind of inlays of kind of lighter fabrics, kind of give it just like oomph and flair. And then she'd have a headpiece similar to how the bird flips up here. And then the hens aren't necessarily in the story, but I thought they could be incorporated on stage since it is their eggs that they're getting taken. And so I love the colors, the purples and the blues, and I wanted to incorporate it in the skirt and then kind of have this dramatic like feathers come up, and then as well as a headpiece similar to African couture fashion. Yes.
Okay. Comments?
I really like how you were able to capture kind of volume in those with the skirts and the piece up here and the romper. I think that was really well done.
Thank you.
The colors.
I like how it's like obvious what the characters are, but it's like she said, it's not like in your face, but it's very subtle, but like you know what they are.
Right.
I think the narrator is a lot of fun. I could see that character really engaging the kids, you know, just because number one, visually it's kind of exciting and fluffy, and it should be, you know, probably her movement would be bird-like, and so that would be really great. I do think Anansi, though, in real life is a male spider, but that's okay.
I wanted, with the story with the firefly, would have assumed to be female, but I wanted to kind of play with the female-male role.
Okay.
That was intentional.
And I like the fact that, that Firefly, is a guy, and I liked his little, I guess his little wings, I guess. Try to catch him light. Okay, great. Anything else? John? No, okay. All right, thank you, Molly. Mr. Nichols?